Welcome back to the Napoleonic Stacking channel. I'm the Napoleonic Stacker, and in this video, we're going to review the World of Dragons series rounds. Stay tuned. So first of all, this is my first video with my new and improved camera. Ultra HD 4K 60 frames per second. It's been a long time coming. My old phone was very old, and I'm embarrassed to tell you actually how old it was. I felt like it still took pretty good pictures, but hopefully this can get you all much better shots of the things that I'm trying to show you, and you can see a lot more detail. And we're going to try it with this video and see how it goes. But before we get into it, I just want to mention silver and gold have been on the run this week. Oh my goodness. Today, silver was up over $26 per ounce, gold up over $2,000, and as of the recording of this video, holding steady. Palladium, $3,300 per ounce. I wish 2 weeks ago I had picked up some palladium. I had the opportunity to, and I didn't do it. And unfortunately, as we know, that has a lot to do with what's going on in the world today. And I'm not going to talk a lot about that right now because I don't want to be a downer. So we're going to get into some really awesome precious metals. So what I'm going to show you here is the World of Dragons series silver rounds that were produced by Provident Metals several years ago. And it was a 6-coin set in silver, and they also did a 6-coin set in copper, which I have both. And at the very end of the run, they released a box, which is this really cool kind of a silver scale dragon box with a dragon eye. And it says World of Dragons. And Provident Metals actually ended up selling out to JM Bullion kind of midway through the run. And there was a concern that JM Bullion wasn't going to continue the World of Dragons series, but fortunately they did. And you can see here it comes in a nice little tray that you can display them in. And we'll take a look at each coin individually, starting with this one. This was the first. And this one here, this is the Aztec. Let me see if I can get my camera to focus. Yeah, there we go. So this is the Aztec round. And you can see here it's the dragon sitting on the Aztec temple. It says down below the Aztec. And it looks like their god, the Quetzalcoatlus, the serpent that would kind of coil down the steps of the pyramids. Very, very cool design. And basically they took dragons from different cultures and decided to make silver rounds out of them. Now, the obverse here is going to be different for each coin, but the reverse is the exact same. So with this first one, I'll go ahead and show you the reverse. And you can see here it says World of Dragons up here at the top. And it's got these dragon scales, the dragon eye, and it shows 1 troy ounce of 999 fine silver. So very, very cool round. So this next one is one of the better looking dragons in the series, and it's the Red Dragon of Wales. And basically this dragon comes from the country of Wales in the United Kingdom. On their flag, they actually have the red dragon, and it ties into their ancient lore and their history of their country, and basically is a part of their mythology. And I think this particular rendition of the Red Dragon of Wales is really cool, because he's sitting there on that rock. It looks like he's ready to breathe fire down on someone. Just absolutely menacing. So the third round in the series is the Imperial Dragon from China. And this dragon here, you can see he's flying over the Great Wall of China, looking all fierce and menacing. And he's holding the Imperial Orb, symbolizing power and kingship over the country. And on Chinese coins, going back hundreds of years, you'll oftentimes see dragons portrayed like this on the reverse of the coins. And the dragon is a very important part of Chinese culture and Asian culture. And oftentimes people want to be born during the year of the dragon. So again, a very neat round to add to the collection. So this round is the Norse round, and this is the dragon from Norse mythology. And you can see it's got roots kind of all around the dragon, which actually ties to this particular dragon's lore. And you can just see all the detail in the scales and in the wings and his mouth, just looking like he's ready to eat someone. And Provident Metals really did a great job with making these and trying to flavor people stacking up. So when you go to Provident Metals, you're not just buying rounds, you're not just buying, Silver Eagles nonstop or Maple Leaves. Once or twice a year, they would release things like this to kind of keep stacking interesting. And that's one of the reasons that I bought from Provident Metals. And now that JM Bullion owns them, I continue to buy from JM because they're doing similar things with their rounds. So this next one is the Indian. And I'll be honest, I really know nothing about this particular dragon. It almost looks like a big worm, and he's kind of decorated with some jewelry, and it looks like he's got a big horn on his head, and it appears to be flying over the Taj Mahal that's in the background. And on the tail, it looks like he's got some kind of a weapon for his tail. If you know anything about this particular serpent or dragon, put it in the comments below and let me know, because I think it's really interesting, and I don't know much about this particular design. But all in all, still really cool design. So the sixth and final round is the Egyptian. And this particular one, let's be honest, it's basically a giant cobra. And he's got his body wrapped around the Great Pyramids of Giza, with his mouth hanging open with razor sharp teeth. And you can see his tongue sticking out there. And he's got some kind of Egyptian headdress on his head, and spikes coming out the frills of his neck, and adorned with jewelry. And this particular one is just a real menacing looking dragon. And I can't imagine snakes being that big. I'm so glad snakes aren't that big. Otherwise, we'd have some real trouble on our hands. But this basically completes the series. And I'm also going to show you what these look like in copper, because some of the copper pieces actually brings out more of the detail than the silver. So this is the Aztec in copper. And you can see the copper metal actually brings out some of the details a little bit differently in the round. Just very cool. And we're just going to briefly go through each of these. And again, this is the Welsh in copper. I think this particular one looks better in the silver. And we've got the Chinese in the copper. And let's see if I can get a little better detail here. Yeah, you can see, I think the Chinese looks better in the silver as well. And then we've got the Norse. And I think the Norse actually looks pretty awesome in the silver and in the copper. You can still see a lot of the details in the dragon and the dragon scales. Just very cool. And we've got the Indian. And this is one I'm not really partial on either way. I think it looks good in both. Maybe a little more detail in the copper. And then we've got the Egyptian. And I honestly think the Egyptian looks better in the copper. You can see more details. All the little individual blocks in the pyramids of Giza kind of stand out. And copper's a cool metal. Definitely not a precious metal, but if you're buying it just for like art purposes or collectability purposes like this, it can be worth it if it's something that you want. And just an added bonus, I'm going to show y'all, if you've stayed along this long in the video, a couple other pieces that I picked up recently. This is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Round that came out basically just a few days ago. And my stepson's a huge Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan and wanted me to pick these up for him. So we got several. And it says here, this is the 25th anniversary of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a game flip coin. And it's got some different like Egyptian hieroglyphics and things. I really don't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh! So tell me in the comments. And on the back, you can see here it says it's time to duel. Yu-Gi-Oh! 1 ounce 999 fine silver. And this comes from the country of Niue. One day, I'm going to fly to Niue, and I'm going to take this Yu-Gi-Oh! Coin, and I'm going to buy something with it. And they have to take it because it's legal tender. They've got they've got potato chips that you can buy in silver that are gold plated. I can't imagine actually taking a potato chip to Niue and expecting them to accept it for goods and services, but technically it's legal tender, so who knows? And the next one is part of my World Coin series. I'm trying to pick up a piece of silver from everywhere in the world. And as we know, some countries don't actually do bullion coin programs. Boo. But they do have silver commemoratives that they've issued throughout the years. And this particular one is a $5 piece from the islands of Trinidad and Tobago. And you can see on the back here, it's got the coat of arms of Trinidad and Tobago. And this one's from 1973. So very, very cool coin. I actually have a whole box full of world coins, silver, of course, and gold that basically are from countries that don't have a bullion coin program. And I'm kind of on a mission to be able to get something from as many countries as possible. Call me obsessive compulsive. But that's what I have for you today. I hope the new camera worked out well. Please let me know in the comments what you think of the video quality. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe. It certainly helps the YouTube algorithm, and I greatly appreciate your time. And until next time, Napoleonic Stacker, signing out.